What we see with MAC address components are two major areas. One is the Organizational Unique Identifier, or OUI, and the other is the vendor assigned portion. Now when we look from right to left, we see the vendor assigned portion is actually 24 bits in length, which is roughly half of the MAC address itself. The Organizational Unique Identifier is also 24 bits in length, and the first 2 bits of any MAC address are broken up into the broadcast or local attributes of the MAC address itself. If the broadcast multicast bit, which is the first bit, is flagged as 1, it will indicate to a target station that the frame is destined for all or for a group of end stations on the particular segment. You'll notice that the Organizational Unique Identifier is actually 24 bits long, so the broadcast bit is going to be reserved. You will actually notice that the broadcaster local are reserved as normally zeros for all vendor assigned addresses. So, in effect, when you look at a MAC address, unless it has been modified locally or is utilizing a broadcast or a multicast type of traffic pattern, you will notice that the first value is always set to 0. So in this case, MAC 00.00.0c is everything from this line to the left, where the first component here is actually the broadcast bit. The remainder of these 24 bits is going to be the Organizational Unique Identifier. The 00.00.0c is actually assigned by the IEEE to Cisco. If this is a 0D, it would be a Dell. So we have a variety of different systems that are based upon these addresses being assigned. It's up to the vendor to make sure that the addresses are allocated to network interface cards or to network interfaces themselves in the proper manner so that they are indeed unique. So vendors must use an algorithm that generates these values and never uses the same value more than once. In the case of Cisco, where I do have capabilities for many different types of devices that have network interfaces, such as routers and switches and so forth, I've got to make sure that every network interface that has an address of 00.00.0c has a different set of 24 bits so that they are globally unique. There can only be one station in the world that has a particular MAC address, and if this rule is not followed, then we can have operational failures and communication failures on the network. So it is very important that these rules are followed.